Well, hello, and if you're listening to this live, good evening. My name is Jean Drew, and along with my good friend and colleague Rebecca Lightfoot, we'll be taking you through this training today, supplements for a healthy lifestyle. So who's this for? Well, if you're on here as a guest of a Forever Business Owner, it's for you if you'd like to find out more how to have an even more healthy lifestyle, or if you're a Forever Business Owner and you just want to top up your product knowledge and perhaps find out for yourself personally as well, it's for you as well. As I say, we will be having a recording of this as well. Now, Rebecca and I aren't experts, but we have been expertly trained. And the material that you're going to see this evening is from an advisory board training by Louise Riley of the same name. This is kind of the compact version of it, obviously, but we would absolutely recommend, if you're a Forever Business Owner, that you go along for the whole day's training, because obviously there's a lot more material in that. So what are we going to cover today? Well, we're going to cover the basics about nutrition first. We want to make sure that we're starting off with an understanding of the basics of nutrition. And then we're going to introduce you to our two baseline products, which are our Aloe drinks and our Forever Daily. And we do genuinely believe that that's the starting point for everybody, really. And then we're going to talk about what we call seasonal supplement shopping. What we mean by this is these aren't necessarily things that you want to take all the time, but they might be things that you want to dip in and out of, or that you want to cherry pick which ones perhaps are more applicable to you at certain points in your life. So we're going to go through these. There are 10 of them. Quite a lot of information in there, but at the end of it, we're going to provide a supplement summary sheet. And that will just sort of collect the information in terms of what products and what areas they work on, just as a nice little summary, because some of them do overlap as well. We're going to cover when to take the supplements very briefly, and we'll close off by talking about what next. So that's what we're going to do today. So without further ado, let's crack on and start talking about it. So Hippocrates' observation that you can see there about diet still has relevance 2,000 years later, so today. In essence, we are what we eat. The raw materials from which our bodies are constructed are provided by the food that we eat. Normal daily living dictates that even when fully grown, our bodies require constant repair and maintenance. The many processes of living, moving, exercising, and keeping warm also require fuel or energy, all of which must come from food, or more precisely, the nutrients in food. So the three key foundations of a balanced diet are, as you probably know, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. And these macronutrients, are needed in large quantities every day. When the above macronutrients are consumed, the process of digestion and metabolism causes micronutrients to be released, and these include vitamins, minerals, and water, and also fibre. Now, a well-balanced diet is defined as having well-proportioned amounts from each food group. And it's the starting point for any nutritional conversation. So we always talk to people about looking at their diet first. So I want to introduce you to the Eat Well Guide. The Eat Well Guide defines the UK government's advice on a healthy, balanced diet. It's a visual representation of how different food and drinks contribute towards such a diet. Now, the Eat Well Guide is based on the 5 food groups, and it illustrates what portion or percentage of each food type should be consumed by the average person. Public Health England encourages organisations and individuals to use the Eat Well Guide to make sure everyone receives consistent messages about the balance of food in a healthy diet. And if you would like to pull that off yourself, then you can see the address for that there. So, digestion. Let's talk about digestion. Now, digestion is the main aim of digestion is to break down the large molecules of a nutrient into small molecules so that your body can use them effectively. Now, what we want to do is have a look at the process of digestion here. So digestion starts when enzymes are released in the mouth. It continues in the stomach with hydrochloric acid, as you can see there. And then it goes on to the small intestines, and nutrients are absorbed from the small intestine into the bloodstream or lymph system. Now, did you know that the small intestine is about 7 meters long, and about 2.5 centimetres in diameter. The surface area, to spread it out, is about 250 square metres, which is about the size of a tennis court. So it's very, very important organ. So from there, they are then processed. So they go into the bloodstream because they're absorbed by the small intestine. They're then processed by the appropriate organs and readied for use by our cells. A bit of useless information. We have 46 trillion cells in our body, so they're pretty important processes. Energy is generated through the metabolism of nutrients, and then at the end, large unwanted toxins and wastes are eliminated from the body. So that's the process that we go through with digestion. Now, I want to talk to you very briefly about this phrase called bioavailability. I didn't really appreciate what that meant until quite recently, but this is the explanation of it. It's defined as the amount of any nutrient that gets through, which gets through the digestive system into the circulation, through the liver and to the required site of action. That's the definition of it. So it's how much actually gets through. And it is affected, as it says there, by digestive health. We'll talk about that in a moment, by the toxins and by levels of other nutrients, because some nutrients can affect how well you absorb other nutrients, and we'll touch on that a little bit later on. So macronutrients, those big ones, the carbs, etc., they're naturally quite bioavailable, but micronutrients aren't naturally lower availability. And what we need to do is make sure that we have delivery systems that maximise how well we make those nutrients bioavailable. And we need the highest quality naturally sourced products, and that's absolutely key. And that's absolutely what we do, because we have our own nutraceutical facility that sources naturally sourced products. That's its mandate. That's very, very important. And you'll hear the phrase bioavailability quite often as we go through this training. So actually, we said we are what we eat, but we are actually what we absorb. This includes the good, which are the vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients, and the bad, which are the environmental toxins, food additives, toxins in skincare products, preservatives, all sorts of stuff. Now, in the small intestine, all nutrients plus water and most electrolyte salts are absorbed. The villi hair-like projections line the interior surface of the small intestine, and these cause its surface area to increase. Nutrients pass across the cell membrane of the villi and enter into the bloodstream. That's how it works. In the large intestine, more salts and water are absorbed. Now, the less your body has of a specific nutrient, the more readily it will be absorbed. If you have a deficiency in, say, vitamin B6, your body will aggressively absorb that nutrient from its food source. Generally, you don't have to worry about absorbing more nutrients than you need, since your body constantly strives for homeostasis. That's a physiological term for balance. Balance for your digestive system to function normally requires many components too. Key ones include digestive enzymes, vitamins A, B, C and D, and minerals, magnesium, calcium and fibre. And the point I'm getting to here is that by drinking aloe vera every day, you're giving your body all the nutrients that it needs in order to support digestion to be in balance, including absorption. So aloe vera has a very important role in terms of absorption because of the nutrients in it. So let's just talk about vitamins briefly. What do they do? Well, vitamins are naturally occurring chemicals. They're essential for everybody's good health. They sustain or help sustain normal growth and development. They occur naturally in most foods, and they are available in these foods in the quantities we need. Many chemical reactions that take place in the body require vitamins. Vitamins do not themselves release energy or provide energy, but they are essential links and regulators in the systems that do release energy. Vitamins are involved in building, repairing and maintaining healthy cells and tissue. Antioxidant vitamins help protect the body's cells and systems from damage and disease, and we'll talk about those a little bit later on. Now, just a little bit more on vitamins, not too much, but vitamins are split up into fat-soluble and water-soluble. Now, why is this important? Well, it affects the way that you store and how often you want to take them. Fat-soluble vitamins are found mainly in fatty foods and animal products such as vegetable oils, milk and dairy foods, eggs, liver, oily food, oily fish and butter. Now, while your body needs these vitamins every day to work properly, you don't need to eat foods containing them every day. This is because your body stores these vitamins in your liver and fatty tissues for future use. These stores can build up so that they're there when you need them. Now, an easy way to remember the fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K is to think of the word ADEC. It doesn't roll off the tongue, but you can remember it. Now, water-soluble vitamins are not stored in the body, and therefore you need to have them more frequently. If you do have more than you need, your body will get rid of any extra vitamins when you have a wee, basically. Water-soluble vitamins are found in a wide variety of foods, including fruit, vegetables, potatoes, grains, milk, and dairy foods. Unlike fat-soluble vitamins, water-soluble vitamins can be destroyed by heat or when exposed to the air. They can also be lost in the water used for cooking. Water-soluble vitamins include B's, all the B vitamins and C, and that's why you need to top up your B's and C's every day. Typically, B's, for example, will pass through your body every 4 to 6 hours. The role of minerals. Minerals, also called electrolytes, are crucial to the body's functioning. Electrolytes are one of the first things routinely measured when a person enters hospital. Plants get minerals from the soil, and animals that eat those plants also provide us with minerals. But balance is key. Some minerals function in pairs, and an excess of one can cause a functional deficiency in another. In the body, if more of one of these minerals is present, less of its paired mineral will make it to the cells. Calcium, magnesium is one such pair. Sodium, potassium is another. Minerals are needed for normal enzyme and cellular activity, function and composition of body tissues, fluids, bone, blood, and skin. So pretty much all of it. And so that's a little bit about minerals. Now, in terms of you might recognise there the list of the most common ones. Some of them are perhaps more well known to you than others. So, do we need to take supplements? Well, I'm just going to come back. Do we need to take supplements? I don't think I did put that in. No, I didn't put in. I was just going to put in, do we need to take supplements? Let me just have a look and see, because I did put something else in. Do we need to take them? Well, there are guidelines for specific situations which are quite clear. So in pregnancy, all women planning a baby should have a folic acid supplement. This should be taken once pregnant for the first 12 months of pregnancy. Vitamin D, calcium and iron, and sometimes should also be taken. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Elderly, although they should consult their GP, vitamin D, B6, B12, folic acid, calcium and iron are essential for the elderly. Vegetarians and vegans, it's possible they may be lacking B12. Athletes, those on a restricted calorie intake, for example, jockeys and ballet dancers may need supplementation. And children, all children aged 6 months to 5 years should take a supplement of vitamins A, C and D. And others, those that struggle to have contact with sunlight may need to take additional supplements. So those are just some guidelines that we have. Now, just want to tell you a little bit about Forever's Aloe, because obviously we are the aloe vera company. I thought you might like to know a few facts about Forever Living and aloe vera. Aloe vera is the lifeblood of Forever. And Aloe barbadensis miller may be a mouthful, but it's a name worth knowing. There are around 400 species of aloe plant in arid regions all around the world. They are each beneficial in their own way, but there's only one species that's been recognised for millennia for its magically soothing abilities, and that is Aloe barbadensis miller. Now, here are some interesting facts, as they say. Forever's aloe vera is grown at plantations in Dominican Republic and Texas. Our largest is a 6,500 acre plantation. That's in the Dominican Republic. It is the largest in the world. Forever have over 30 million plants in the Dominican Republic and harvest over 1 million pounds of aloe vera per week. Forever employs local farmers and provides excellent working conditions. By controlling 100% of its plantations, Forever also controls the planting season, plant selection, methods of fertilisation and weed control, seasons of harvest, processing, storage and delivery. The aloe is harvested by hand and the leaves are processed within hours. Over 50 million aloe vera plants can be found on aloe vera's Aloe's Forever's plantations, and these cleanse the earth of hundreds of millions of tons of CO2 every year. So that's what we do. Now, just want to talk to you about our drinks. So these are our 4 Forever aloe vera drinks, and actually across the world they make up half of our sales. We would just want to talk through and explain a little bit more about them. So we have our iconic yellow bottle, so our Forever aloe vera gel. This gel is approximately 96% by volume, that inner leaf gel that you saw earlier on. This gel is as close to the natural plant juice as possible. You drink it to promote a healthy lifestyle and well-being, to support gastrointestinal health, we were talking about that, weren't we, earlier on, and to support immune function as well. Forever Freedom has all the benefits of the plain gel that we just talked about, with the addition of glucosamine, chondroitin, and MSM. Now, these are natural. It contains natural sulfurs found in a healthy synovial joint. Forever Aloe Berry Nectar, well, the benefits of the original flavour has with the addition of cranberry and apple concentrate. This helps to support the skin. And Forever Aloe Bits and Peaches, this is a sweet tasting version of the plain gel containing sun-ripened peaches, absolutely delicious. So really all you have to do is to find out which drink you'd like to take on a regular basis for a healthy lifestyle and well-being. And that is the first of our 2 foundation products. Now, the second one of them is our Forever Daily. And we're going to start with this. So our Forever Daily, this food supplement is designed to deliver 100%, specifically designed to do this, 100% of the dietary reference value of essential vitamins and bioavailable minerals and nutrients. Forever Daily combines 55 perfectly balanced aloe-coated nutrients, including vitamins A, C, D, and B12, iron, calcium, and zinc. And you take it with any of the Forever aloe vera gels for best results because they work well together. And that's the sort of starting point for everything, we should say. So we talk about a well-balanced diet, and then we talk about our baseline products, which are our drinks, and also our Forever Daily. So I always start people off on those, and then we see how we go in terms of whether they need something extra. And this is what we're going to start off now. We're actually going to start that. So we're now going to talk about seasonal supplement shopping. So we've got our aloe drinks, which support digestive health and do many other things we talked about. And then our Forever Aloe Daily, which provides the base amount of nutrients, plus your seasonal shopping, supplement shopping. So before we do that, very briefly, just want to talk about being responsible. We use the compliant claims that are laid down by the EU Commission when talking about vitamins, minerals and other nutrients. The objective of these rules is to ensure that any claim that is made on a food's labelling, presentation, description or advertising in the European Union is clear, accurate and based on scientific evidence. This not only protects consumers but also promotes innovation and ensures fair competition, keeps the cowboys out. So in terms of explaining our products, you'll hear us today talking these phrases quite often. We talk about containing. So we can't say that aloe does this or aloe does that, but we can say aloe contains specific nutrients, for example, vitamin C, which contribute. So we can't say that vitamin C is entirely responsible for what we're going to talk about, but it contributes to it, perhaps the maintenance of, or normal, for example, skin. Now, so it contributes to the maintenance of normal skin. Now, what's normal skin? What's normal, or normal energy levels? What's normal for a 20-year-old might be different to an 80-year-old, but those are the terms that we use. So you'll hear us talking about that many times as we go through that. And that's a kind of formula that makes sure that we're compliant and responsible with what we're sharing with you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hand over to Rebecca Lightfoot, and she's going to take you through and introduce herself first of all. And Rebecca's then going to take you through the first of our 10 areas, and we're just going to alternate. So you'll hear Rebecca 5 times, and then you'll hear me, and then I'll come back up and summarise. So Becca, are you there? Hopefully you're there.
I certainly am, Jean. Thank you.
Good. Over to you, Becca.
It's great. Thank you. It's great to share on the call with you tonight, Jean. And as Jean said, primarily our aim is to help you to get a good understanding of what I thought for a long time was a minefield of lots of different products, quite overwhelming to look at them. So what we wanted to do was break it down into sections for you to make it as simple to recommend these products with some good, clear, compliant language. So the first one that we're going to tackle is the skin, hair and nails, and mucous membranes. So a little note there about mucous membranes, you can see along the bottom. Mucous membranes are your epithelial layers of cells. So they are everything that lines something, basically. So your mouth, your nose, your eyelids, all the way down your windpipe and trachea into your lungs, all through your digestive system, so your throat, your stomach, your intestines, and then your genitourinary system as well, your ureters, your urethra, and the bladder as well. So think of all of those mucous membranes. So the skin, hair, nails, and mucous membranes in the body as well. That's what we're thinking about at the moment. So which of the nutrients are so important to contribute to the maintenance of normal skin, hair, nails, and mucous membranes? Well, you can see we've got them listed there. We've got vitamin A, B2, B3, B7 are all contributing to normal skin and mucous membranes. Vitamin C is really important for maintaining the normal collagen function in the skin, or collagen formation in your skin. Zinc is really important for our skin, and copper, zinc, copper, and selenium are a collection of those minerals that we talked about before. And you can see each of those had a distinctive role in particular elements of maintaining normal skin, hair, and nails. So it's often about a synergistic effect of several vitamins and several enzymes working, several minerals working together to give an overall effect. So bearing all that in mind, if those are the nutrients that are important for us, which are the supplements that Forever can provide and recommend that will help us to address that? Now, remember, Jean talked about the importance of using our aloe vera drinking gels and the Forever Daily as your foundation subjects. And for skin in particular, I tend to recommend berry nectar because the additional vitamin C that's in it, we can see from that previous slide, helps to contribute to normal collagen formation in the skin. So a great sort of structural protein that's part of our skin. So the supplements that we're going to recommend in particular could well be A-beta care. You can see A-beta care contains vitamin A and E, and it's also got that antioxidant mineral selenium as well. So 3 powerful antioxidant ingredients. This is really a cracking all-round skin supplement. Maybe Nature Min could be more appropriate for your clients and customers. So you can see this is rich in all those seabed minerals that you've got there. Zinc in particular is an important one, contributing to normal skin repair. So if you've got slightly problematic skin, spotty skin, that can potentially be the recommendation for you. Now, I'm not sure if any of you have tried the Forever Pomestine Power. That's the bottle that you can see in the middle of the screen. That's packed full with vitamin C again. So thinking about those key ingredients, the vitamin C, the pomegranate, and the mangosteen. The vitamin C is brilliant, actually, mixed with your daily aloe vera gel. Whichever one you use, you can just put a good old glug of pomestine in it. And again, rich in vitamin C, supporting normal collagen function in the skin. You can also see on there, we've got Forever Active HA. The HA in that is hyaluronic acid. It's a natural element that's present in the skin, but it's also present throughout the human body. And it's absolutely incredible ingredient. It's capable of attracting 1,000 times its own body weight in water. What does that actually mean for the skin? Well, that's what contributes to the impression of plumper skin. So it's giving the appearance of very plump and luscious skin. That's a fantastic supplement. I love that one. And you can see right on this very left-hand side, one of our most recent product releases, the brand new Infinite Firming Complex. This is our first exclusive beauty supplement. So really one to kind of build your understanding of. It's the supplement that's part of the brand new Infinite skincare system, but you can buy this at the moment as a separate standalone beauty supplement. It acts as an inner conditioning complex. So it helps to tackle the appearance of those premature aging signs from within the body. Really, really clever. It combines vitamin C for healthy collagen formation. So you can see that sort of contributing to normal collagen formation is part of contributing to normal skin. It's also got biotin, contributes to healthy hair and skin formation. Marine collagen itself is an amino acid packed protein, and that gives structure and tone to connective tissues throughout the body, but in this case, particularly relevant to the skin. And it's so easy to take. 2 supplements, 2 tablets, first thing in the morning. And I have to say, cracking results really, really quickly. I'm not sure how many people that are on this call have used this product so far, but we're getting great feedback about this one. So definitely one worth finding out about. Jean, what comes next?
What comes next, Becca, is we're going to talk about nutrients for men and for women. So here we're going to be talking about hormones, and these are the body's chemical messengers. The human body secretes and circulates around 50 different hormones. I had no idea it was so many. A wide range of these chemical substances are produced by endocrine cells, most of which are in glands. And the hormones then enter the blood system to circulate around the body and target or activate target cells. So they're looking for their specific cells. So the following vitamins and minerals are important for men and women. Iodine contributes to the production or normal production of thyroid hormones and normal thyroid function. Pantothenic, I knew I pronounced that wrong, pantothenic acid, which is vitamin B5 to you and me, contributes to normal synthesis and metabolism of steroid hormones. So you might recognise those: progesterone, estrogen and testosterone. Vitamin B6 contributes to the regulation of hormonal activity. Zinc contributes to normal fertility and reproduction and testosterone levels in the blood. And selenium contributes to normal spermatogenesis. Now, I didn't know what that was. I was guessing, as you might be guessing, but it's actually the production of sperm from sperm stem cells. So it's how it's made. So those are the nutrients we're looking at. Now, what are the supplements that have the most of these in? Now, and I just want to stress that many of our supplements have elements of all of these in them, or many of them, but these are the ones that have most of the ones we're looking for in. They're the highest content of them. So first of all, Vitalize for women. This contains botanicals and nutrients, including vitamin B6, calcium and iron. Also includes cranberry and passion flower powder as well. If you're not sure about the nutritional profile of those, then obviously you can Google those. That's specifically formulated for women. Vitalize for men does what it says on the tin, and it's a blend of herbs plus zinc and selenium. Now, taking your Forever Daily actually is really interesting. If you take it as stated, it provides 50% of your recommended intake of iodine and 100% of your vitamin B5 recommended intake. Now, you might also like to consider Forever Multi-Maca. This contains legendary Peruvian maca plus Q10 and the amino acid arginine. And if you haven't heard of maca, you might want to get your internet and read all about it, because it's absolutely fascinating in terms of what it can do. So those are the things that will help. I would recommend if you're looking at that sort of area. So over to you, Becca.
Thank you, Jean. So let's look next at energy yielding metabolism. I saw this picture and I saw all the fire and I thought, oh yeah, that sounds really good. So who's this relevant for really? Well, our metabolism, and I mean this for every single one of us, actually helps make the food that we eat available to use as energy or fuel. So this process is actually vital for life for all of us, and the nutrients involved in it, therefore, are really, really important to everybody. Now, you can see the list that we've got here. It looks like quite a lot of them, doesn't it? You can see down that left-hand side there, and at the beginning of the right-hand list, you've got a whole wealth of important minerals. You've also got all of the B vitamins and vitamin C. Now, molybdenum down the bottom there is one that not a lot of people have heard of, not widely known, but this is really important for balancing sulfur in your body. Why might you have a sulfur imbalance in your body? Well, sulfur imbalances in the body are quite often caused if someone eats a diet that's very high in processed food. And that can actually show itself as almost what they call a preservative rash on the skin. And this is because of the buildup of sulfur in the body. So getting the sulfur molybdenum balance right, Jean talked about these carefully balanced mineral combinations earlier. It's one of the things that we need to address. So we're going to look at some of the supplements that are going to help you to get all of these ingredients as part of your diet, all of these elements as part of your diet. So remember, this is important for everybody, but it may well be particularly important to you if you have a very busy and demanding job, or perhaps you might want to consider some of these supplements because energy production in terms of stamina and sports support perhaps might be really, really important to you. So we've got 4 different supplements to look at in this situation. The first one, again, is a relatively new supplement to Forever, and it's called Forever Therm. Therm, the name coming from thermogenesis, which is the process of creating heat, something that exercise does as well, generates heat in our bodies. So Therm contains a combination, you can see there again, those B and C vitamins that we talked about before, but it also contains caffeine. But this caffeine is a natural caffeine from guarana seeds, green coffee beans, and green tea. What does it actually do? It's a natural stimulant. It makes you feel like you have more energy and therefore can do more activity. And I stress the point that this is a natural stimulant. It's a naturally sourced caffeine. It's not a synthetic caffeine like you would find in sort of instant coffee. Now, you do find sometimes that there are people that don't like taking caffeine. They don't want to have caffeine in any form. And perhaps for them, a better recommendation would be the Forever Gin Chia. So this product, again, has 2 widely known thermogenic herbs. So ginseng and chia have got a long history of use in ancient cultures. And again, as Jean said, lots of opportunities to kind of Google these ingredients if you haven't heard of them before. It's also got vitamin C and it's got calcium as well. So again, all those combining for those thermogenic nutrients. Forever Daily we've heard about already. We know it has a great combination of all of the minerals that we're talking about, including that molybdenum. So definitely one to keep there as your foundation subject. Or perhaps you'd like to try one of our incredible bee products. We've got a whole range of bee products, but the bee pollen that you can see here is really rich in all of the bee vitamins that we listed before, all of which are really, really important for energy yielding metabolism. So many similar products there. Very much depends on your personal view of what you want to be taking, because they've got very, very similar benefits. So totally up to you for that one. How about oxidative stress then, Jean?
Right, let's talk about oxidative stress. So first of all, before we do that, let's talk about free radicals. Now, free radicals are unstable molecules that can damage our body's cells and tissues. You've probably heard of them. They basically cause us to rust from the inside out. That's a vision that you don't really want to have, isn't it? They are normal byproducts of cellular metabolism. So everything we need to do to survive is produced in those processes anyway. But they're also the result of exposure to pollution or excessive sunlight, smoking, drinking too much alcohol, and eating a poor diet. They can also be a result, surprisingly, maybe, of excessive exercise as well. So if you're super healthy and doing lots of exercise, then you can create a lot of free radical damage as well. So oxidative stress is an imbalance between the production of free radicals and the ability of the body to counteract or detoxify harmful effects through neutralization by antioxidants. So that's what oxidative stress is. It's that imbalance. Now, the following contribute to protection of cells from oxidative stress. So you can see there, you've got vitamin A, C, and E. And this is another one worth remembering, ACE. A, C, and E are oxidative antioxidants for environmental stress, if you like. Vitamin B as well, then manganese, selenium, zinc, and copper. We've also got there olive oil polyphenols. Now, why are they good? Well, they contribute to the protection of blood lipids from oxidative stress. Blood lipids, we tend to think of things like fatty acids and cholesterol, basically the good fats, and helping maintain healthy cholesterol levels. So that's where olive oil comes in. So you know what's coming next. Which supplements? Well, we have our, first of all, we have our RG. Now you can see the sachet there in the little tubes that contain the powder that you put in the drink, and it goes from sort of a purpley colour to a red colour. This contains L-arginine, the amino acid, and a vitamin complex that includes vitamin C. Also contains a proprietary blend of fruits that are red, blue and purple skinned, and I'm sure you can think of ones that would go in there. So now, why have we got it here? Well, actually, interesting enough, sport creates oxidative damage, as we've said, and when we look at using RG, quite often we're talking about the sports arena for stamina, endurance and performance, but it's also there for recovery, because recovery, you need to get over and help the oxidative stress. So RG is a very big player in terms of oxidative stress, especially when it comes to sport. You've also got the Arctic Sea there. Now, this contains fatty acids, EPAs and DHAs, plus olive oil. Now, I'm not going to try and explain what those stand for, but that's what that's in there. So you've got the olive oil in there as well. So that's, if you think of that Arctic Sea, that's for the blood oxidative stress. And then we've got our favourite, Becca's talked about already, alpha beta care, which contains the ACE vitamins, so A, C, and E, and selenium. And that's environmental oxidative stress, if you like. So if you get a lot of sun, you're in a polluted environment, you smoke, alcohol, poor diet, then alpha beta care again. So that's cropped up again. So that's oxidative stress. So Becca?
Right, so the muscles and their function. Now we've got a wonderful picture here. I love this picture of someone kind of, stretching out all their muscles. And quite often we hear muscles and we think, okay, this is another sporty one. And we have got over 650 muscles in our body, but it's not all about sport. It's not all about movement and motion. If you think about almost every bodily function, it's got a muscle element to it, right from the moment when you put food in your mouth and your tongue needs to move and your jaw needs to move. It's important for our digestion. It's important for our blood, our circulation, cardiovascular system, our heart. It's important for our respiratory system. Pretty much every body system relies on muscle function. So the nutrients and components that are important here, again, are important to every single one of us, not just people that are involved in sport. You can see we've got a combination of our minerals there, calcium, magnesium and potassium. We've also got vitamin D, and protein itself is obviously important, contributing to maintenance of growth of muscle mass. But those minerals in particular, we've got lots and lots of minerals that are involved in the messengers that are actually communicating between nerves and muscles. So getting those balances right are really important for your body to function throughout each system really, really well. The supplements that we can recommend here are several of which you will have come across before. So Nature Min, we've talked about already, that combination of seabed minerals, and you can see we've got those key calcium, magnesium and potassium that are in there. Nature Min, all those important minerals contributing to normal muscle function. The key ingredient in the RG this time is the amino acids. So it's particularly important, as Jean said, for recovery, for stamina and for endurance. The other two packets that you can see there are our Forever Light Ultra. So these are our protein shakes, our soy protein shakes. 14 grams of protein per scoop of powder, 24 grams of protein if you're mixing it with 300 mils of skimmed milk or soya milk. It's also got all the important minerals and vitamin D contributing to normal muscle function. Now, 2 of these a day, and for most individuals, you've nailed all of those vitamins and minerals that you need throughout the day. So they have lots of sort of nutritional functions as well. But here we're looking at the fact that soy has a slower release of amino acids than whey protein, and it's got a favorable amino acid profile for creating muscle mass. So if people want to use the Forever Light Ultra as a recovery shake after they've done exercise, or actually if they just wanted to use it to build themselves up a little bit for that sort of recuperation after being unwell for a while, just building their sustenance up a little bit like people used to use Complan, something to kind of complement any food that you're getting in there. It's all important for that recovery and building that muscle mass as well.
Okay, so Let's talk about, thank you, Becca. Let's talk about nutrients for the blood now, something that is all very important for all of us. Blood is, of course, a bodily fluid found in humans and other animals. It delivers necessary substances such as nutrients and oxygen to the cells, and it transports metabolic waste products away from those same cells. It's composed of blood cells suspended in blood plasma, and you can see a diagram there. So, the following vitamins and minerals relate to the blood. Vitamin B2, B6 and B12 contribute to normal red blood cells. Alpha-linolenic acid contributes to the maintenance of normal blood cholesterol levels. Folate contributes to normal blood formation. Calcium and vitamin C contribute to normal blood clotting. Chromium contributes to the maintenance of normal blood glucose levels. And I haven't even written it down there. I'm going to attempt to pronounce this. Shall I do it? Docosahexaenoic acid, there you go, DHA, and eicosapentaenoic acid, EPA, and potassium contribute to the maintenance of normal blood pressure. So lots of different ways in which nutrients can support different aspects of the blood functioning at its normal levels. So what supplements do we have for this? Well, we have our Forever B12 Plus, and this supplement contains B12 and folate. So we're talking about the formation of red blood cells and blood formation itself. We've also got, again, there it crops up again, our Forever Arctic Sea contains DHA, EPA, I'm not pronouncing them this time, olive oil, remember olive oil was for oxidative stress, we talked about this in relation to the blood, and vitamin E as well. So vitamin E is blood pressure. So very much a powerful supplement, that Arctic Sea, in relation to blood. Now, Forever Lean. Now, these well-balanced capsules are high in chromium. So getting back to blood glucose levels, they're actually the highest supplement we have, highest content of chromium that we have of all of our supplements. So actually the Forever Lean is the one to go for there if you're interested in your blood glucose / sugar level. You might also want to consider RG Plus, as it contains folate and vitamin K2 as well. So RG Plus cropping up there as well. So Becca?
Right, let's look at bones and teeth then. Our teeth, okay, they are made up of phosphorus, of calcium, and a whole load of other minerals too. Similarly, our bones contain calcium, they contain sodium, phosphorus, and again, other minerals, and the collagen that we talked about before. So it comes as no great surprise when you see many of those minerals in this important nutrients list that contribute to the maintenance of normal bones and teeth. You can also see that we've got vitamin C, vitamin D, and vitamin K there as well. So lots of these vitamins and minerals are working in those synergistic partnerships that we talked about before. So let's have a look at 3 supplements that we've got to recommend for you. Forever Calcium, brilliant supplement, contains vitamin D and calcium. So those are 2 of the synergistic partners that you need to work together. A calcium supplement doesn't do you any good if it doesn't contain vitamin D as well. You need the vitamin D to absorb the calcium and vice versa. You might want to consider Forever HA, which touched on that before. So as well as being found in the connective tissue of skin, hyaluronic acid, which is this component that we talked about before, is also found in bone and cartilaginous structures throughout the body and in normal synovial joint fluid. So that's why you might want to consider taking this if you want to maintain normal bones and joints. What we really want to tell you about on this particular call in this section is our brand new Forever Move. This is a groundbreaking supplement that's just been released by Forever. It's a soft gel capsule and it contains 2 key components, and it's the combination of these that make it absolutely phenomenal. The first key ingredient is called Biokirk. Now, this is a patented preparation of turmeric. Lots of you have probably heard of the use of turmeric, but Biokirk is a patented, highly bioavailable form of turmeric. Now, turmeric's a botanical root. It's a lot like ginger. And again, like some of the maca and ginger and other ingredients that we've talked about, Google it, because there are so many great uses of turmeric. Google its use in the equine world, You have to give horses vast amounts of turmeric, mix it with black pepper to actually get the horses to absorb enough of it to have any effect. So BioKirk has been developed by the companies that we work with to develop Forever Move to make as much of the turmeric available to our bodies as possible. And it's the combination of this BioKirk and natural eggshell membrane that make this such a powerful supplement, particularly when you take it with our Forever Freedom drinking gel. So what's the natural eggshell membrane all about then? Well, natural eggshell membrane is exactly as it sounds. It's the membrane within the eggshell. And they've found it's really, really rich source of collagen, but it also contains the hyaluronic acid that we talked about before, the calcium and glucosaminoglycans. So you might have heard of those, that they are things like glucosamine and chondroitin. So let's pick each one of those then. Hyaluronic acid. We've talked about it in other situations, but in this situation, hyaluronic acid contributes to the lubrication and flexibility of joints. The collagen that we've mentioned before is a structural protein within our bones. So you can see the advantage of having both of those in this supplement. The glucosamine, many of you I'm sure have heard of taking glucosamine. It's a vital component of our articular cartilage. It absorbs water, and what that does is it contributes to the load-bearing function and the compression and the lubrication around the cartilage in our joints. So it's all that sort of bumper compression and load-bearing. And chondroitin acts like the scaffolding, if you like, of articular cartilage. So you can see all these ingredients marry up together to contribute to normal movement in a healthy joint. Now, why would you recommend this supplement over some of the others, perhaps? Well, it's a brilliant supplement to recommend to people that are interested in maintaining a healthy and active lifestyle, particularly people that are keen on sport. But also think about people that are in physically demanding and strenuous jobs as well. This is a great one to recommend to them. It might be a supplement you consider recommending to people who have struggled to take Freedom. Some of them are unsure about taking Freedom because the glucosamine has been sourced from shellfish in Forever Freedom. Some people have shellfish allergies. Some people just don't like the idea of it. They think that there's a shellfishy taste to Forever Freedom. I've never picked that up myself, but I have had that as feedback from some of my clients. So I'm excited to offer Forever Move to them instead, because it's a different source of those glucosaminoglycans. And it's a fish soft gel capsule as well. So rather than bovine origin, this is fish origin. So again, that might open up your potential to recommend this to other clients. So I would strongly recommend trying out the Move yourself and see how you get on with it and share your benefits too.
Thank you, Becca. We're very excited about that Forever Move, aren't we? So yes, we have a tub of that. We've just invested in it and we're just about to start using it. So we'll keep you posted. Thank you for that. Okay, so nutrients for the immune system. Now, the immune system, as you know, is the body's defence against infectious organisms and other invaders, hence the little cartoon there, somebody is attacking them, through a series of steps called the immune response. That little chap there is attacks organisms and substances that invade body systems and cause disease. Actually, and I didn't know this, over 70% of the immune system resides in the gut. So it's a very important organ that we have. Now, the following vitamins and minerals contribute to the normal function of the immune system. So you can see them there. So A, the B6 and B12, C and D again, copper, iron, selenium, zinc, and folate. So what supplements would we recommend specifically for the immune system? Well, we have a formulated especially a supplement for the immune system. And guess what? It's called Immune Blend. It supports the body's defence with vitamin C, D. It actually has 200% of our daily requirement of vitamin D, and zinc as well. So it's really geared up to help with the immune system. And that would definitely be the one that if you felt you needed a bit of help in that area, I would definitely recommend that you go for. You may also want to consider our Forever Bee Propolis. Propolis is used by bees to protect and disinfect their hives So if you think about the functionality of what the bees use it for, it might give you an idea of some of the properties of bee propolis. But if you're not aware of it, worth Googling bee propolis. Forever active probiotic. We haven't raised this one yet, but this is patented encapsulation technology. Basically, that means it's used to deliver good bacteria to the important part of the intestinal tract. It's very difficult to do that. It's very sensitive. It can often dissolve in the wrong places, and it's very important that you get it to the right spot. Why are we mentioning this in the immune system? Well, as you've just heard, 70% of the immune system resides in the gut. And we want to make sure the gut is as well prepared as possible and working as well as it possibly can. Now, you also could consider Forever Garlic Thyme and Forever Lyceum Plus. Garlic has been traced back thousands of years as considered to promote good health. I think that's generally well known, isn't it? Lyceum has been used by the Chinese for centuries. Forever Lyceum Plus contains extract of lyceum fruit and also root of licorice as well. And lyceum is linked, I didn't know, but I did a bit of research, to the goji berry. Some of you might have heard of the goji berry, so that's a very good way of taking that as well. So those are some of the supplements you might want to consider taking for the immune system. So not sure which ones to go for. Talk to a Forever business owner that gave you this training. They can talk you through that. Becca.
Thank you. Okay, eyes and vision then. Now, I'm assuming everybody's got eyes. I say that because when I first came across some of these supplements, I remember thinking, oh, all the eye stuff, that's for old people. Because my eyes are working fine. But actually, I've come to realise lots of people's eyes are affected by lots of different things. So let's take a look at it in a little bit more detail. The rods and the cones in your eyes, the cells that are in your human eye, react to light. They allow conscious light perception. They also permit colour differentiation and give us a perception of depth. So these seemingly quite small, round things that are just part of our body are hugely important for so many different things. And these are the vitamins and the minerals that are important to contribute to normal vision. Vitamin A. So when Granny tells you to eat your carrots so you can see in the dark, that's because they contain these beta carotenes of vitamin A. Vitamin B2, zinc, and ready for it, docosahexaenoic acid. It's going to become one of those words tonight, DHA, isn't it?
Becca, aren't you? Say it again.
Docosahexaenoic acid.
Oh, go on then.
One of those essential fatty acids. So all of those are acting as components for contributing to normal vision. So as I say, this isn't an old person's supplement. This is something that these are supplements that we need to consider. There are lots of hormonal changes that happen throughout men's and women's lives that can affect vision. So, and that there are lots of other things. Seasonal changes can affect vision as well. So bear that in mind when you're thinking about recommending these. Forever Vision contains vitamin A and zinc, so we know that those two are really important. And it also contains the key carotenoids, lutein and zeaxanthin, which are from bilberries. Now, the DHA can be found in our Forever Arctic Sea. So Jean's recommended this for some other things before, but this is where we want the DHA. Now, what I have to say about Arctic Sea is this. They are really easy to swallow soft gel capsules. And most importantly, not only do they have DHA, but they also have citrus oil and the omega-9 oils. Now, why are they important? It's the combination of these that mean that you don't get nasty burps. And that is really important. If you're ever talking to someone who was lined up as a child and given cod liver oil off a spoon, the thought of taking fish oils is a hideous prospect for them. So knowing why our Arctic Sea is a really easy supplement to take and why that's not going to happen is really important. So the combination of the citrus oil and the oleic acid, the olive oil, means that these are great supplements and you'll never regret taking them.
Thank you, Becca. I forgot to mention that. That's a really good point, actually. So, and finally, of our 10, we've still got a little bit more to tell you about, but of our 10 areas, maternal and infant well-being. So this is probably a very straightforward and obvious one, actually. Maternal well-being begins before conception, obviously, with good nutrition and a healthy lifestyle. It should continue through pregnancy and after childbirth and into the early years of the infant. So the following vitamins and minerals contribute to maternal and infant well-being. Folate contributes to maternal tissue growth, during pregnancy, and DHA, I'm not going to go for it, contributes to normal brain and eye development of the fetus and breastfed infants. So those are the two supplements that are particularly good in these areas. Sorry, not supplements, ingredients. So what supplements have we got to address that? Well, we have our Forever B12, which we've mentioned already. So, you know, that's full of B12 and folic acid, which are essential for mums to be, especially in their first 3 months. And that's because of the tissue growth. We've also got our Forever Arctic Sea. That's a real superstar, isn't it? This contains important omega-3 oils from fish oils, including that DHA. So again, that's brain and eye development. And we also have Forever Kids. These are chewable. They're delicious, actually. I like these. It's chewable multivitamins, which provide a child with a fun way, or an adult, to top up on vitamins A, C, D, B12, calcium, and zinc. And yeah, they're well, I shouldn't go on about this because I just really like the taste of them, actually, but they're obviously really good for children growing up as well. So a great start in life. So those are our 10. Just want to share with you a few other things. So, for example, when to take supplements. Well, they are best absorbed when taken with food. The food and the supplements bounce off each other basically and work very well together. You should take them in the morning ideally just to get the most absorption during the day. You give this the longest period of time to actually absorb them as you're moving around. The fat-soluble vitamins, remember the ADEC, take with dietary fat, so that could be things like milk, for example, anything a little bit fatty, cheese, something like that. B vitamins are best not taken at night unless you do want to be up for the next 4 to 6 hours. Avoid eating high fibre foods with omega oils, just simply because it affects the absorption of the omega oils. And avoid drinking coffee or tea when you're taking an iron supplement because the tannin will affect your ability to absorb the iron. So those are just some of these sort of bioavailability things and timing issues that we just want to sort of point out. Those are some of the more common ones. Now, I mentioned that we have a summary sheet at the end to help you. Now, some of them you might be flabbergasted by this, but some of this will help. What I've done is I've listed the supplements that we've talked about today on the left-hand side. I've also put the codes in there as well, so if you did want to order, then you've got the codes in there. But that's everything that we've talked about today. Obviously, it's not all of our supplements, but it's the core ones we wanted to focus on today. And along the top, you can see the different areas we've talked about. And the cross in the middle is where it applies. So, for example, for Forever Daily, that applies right across the board. For Alpha Beta Care, you can see that it applies not just to the skin, but also oxidative stress as well, and you can take it through. So what I've done is I've highlighted some of the supplements that have more than one, if you like, area that they really work on that you've heard about quite a few times today. Doesn't mean that those are necessarily the ones you need to take, but it might help you in terms of thinking, well, if I take it for this, it might actually help for that and that as well. Also, though, there are also the other supplements more specific, like, for example, Forever Move, Forever ImmuBlend, that are very specific and will work in very specific areas. So I hope that perhaps you find that useful. And if you wanted, obviously, to screenshot it or something like that, then please feel free to do that. But do put it in the context of knowing that it's not... for example, Alpha Beta Care, you can't say that is good for the skin, but it's the components. What we've done today is described as the components within it, specific components, and they are what helps normal maintenance of healthy or normal levels of skin, normal skin, if you like. So I hope that helps some of you. If it confuses you, just ignore it, but some of you might find that helpful. So what next? Well, if you're a forever business owner, then obviously think about your own nutritional needs. Just perhaps go back through this and think, well, which ones do you need to maybe work on a little bit more and see the benefits of? Plug yourself into the advisory board trainings. There's a variety of them where you can get a lot more in-depth knowledge than we've been able to share with you in this hour. And on our website, foreverknowledge.info, when you go into the Forever Business Owners section of it, look in the products section, lots of information in there. Particularly, there are product tutorials in there as well. Now, if you're a guest, you're an extra special person, please do get back to the person who invited you to watch this video, and any questions you've got, they'll answer them. If they can't, they'll keep going until they get the right answers for you. And they'll also tell you if you're interested in how to order as well. So that's very much it from Rebecca and myself today. I hope you found that useful. I'd like to give a special thank you to Rebecca for coming on, and you can obviously see why I asked her to help me out with it, and I hope you found that very useful. Thank you again, Becca, for taking the time to do this. Hope you've enjoyed this recording, and well, all we do is wish you a healthy lifestyle for the future. Bye for now.